platform. I believe you had a nice weekend and you are taking good care of yourself and taking your studies seriously as well. Alright, today we are back to this platform, and the subject we are considering today is basic science. The subject we are considering now is basic science, and in basic science what we are going to learn is the excretory system. Can we say that together? The excretory system. Repeat it after me. The excretory system. Now you may ask, what is the excretory system? In fact, I want to believe that you are going to enjoy the lesson of today. Now let me ask you a little question. Have you ever urinated? You've passed out urine from your body? You've ever urinated? Okay, that's beautiful. Why do you urinate? Why do we have to pass out urine from our body? We are just passing it out. Is that what they are saying? We don't just pass it out like that. There is a process that is responsible for that. And if I should ask, when we breathe in air, what do? We breathe it out. That is, exhale the air from our body. The oxygen, we take in oxygen, and what do we bring out? Carbon dioxide. I believe you know that. So in our today's lesson, we are looking at this interesting topic, the excretory system. What then is excretory system? But before we look at the excretory system as a whole, we want to look at the meaning of the word excretion. What does it mean to pass out excretory substances for the body? Okay, so excretion is the process. Please listen and listen good. Excretion is the process by which waste products are released or removed from the body. I take it again. Excretion is the process by which waste products are removed from the body. And one may ask, how? Madam, do we have waste products in our body? Yes, we have waste products in our body, and that's what we want to look at today. Now, when we talk about removal of waste products from the body, how come about the waste products? Is another question that should concern us. Where do these waste products get into our body? How? Okay, let me ask us, do we eat? Yes, we take food. We are happy whenever we eat, especially our favorites. Now the body makes use of this food that we take into our body. Now after the body have used the food, at the end of the digestion process, the body will now send out the food that has been used already, and it is no longer useful. The end product of that digestion is what the body will send out. There are activities that are going, not only the digestion, we also, another activity that goes on in the body is what we look at as respiration. We breathe in oxygen, the body uses the oxygen, and at the end of the day, what does the body brings out is the carbon dioxide. So the respiration, the digestions and other activities, and there is a name, I don't want to call that, mention that name for us, and other activities that the body carries out, you at the end of the day generates waste products. And it is needful for us to remove these waste products from our body, because if we don't remove them, now let me ask you, my friends, how do you feel when you are not always allowed to go out to urinate? That's to use the restroom. Suppose in a class and you want to go to use the restroom, either to pass out urine, and you are not allowed, and you have to hold the urine in your body for a long time. How do you feel? Will you feel comfortable? The answer is no, you will not feel comfortable, because the urine is not meant to stay in our body. We are not to store it for a longer time. So that is the reason when we are not allowed to go out and use the restroom, we become somewhat uncomfortable. So there is need for excretion. And that is why this lesson is going to be an interesting one. The removal of waste product from the body, what is it called? Excretion. Now, what are the examples of excretory or the waste products? Whether you call it excretory product or you call it waste product from the body. Examples of waste products from the human body are number 1, urine. Number 2, sweat. Number 3, the carbon dioxide, that is carbon dioxide that we pass out. How do we know we pass out carbon dioxide? When we inhaled the oxygen and exhale the air that we exhale out from our body is called carbon dioxide, commonly called carbon dioxide. So if these substances are allowed to stay in our body longer than necessary, they become harmful to the body and can lead to one sickness or the other, and eventually can lead to death as well. So that is why God has made the body in such a way that from time to time, waste products from our body have to be removed. Have I mentioned examples of waste products from the body? Yes. What are those examples of waste products from the body? Number 1, urine. Number 2, sweat. Number 3, what do I say? Carbon dioxide. Alright, now what are the excretory organs? Before we now look at the system. Excretory organs are those parts of the body that work together to carry out excretory to carry out excretion. Now the system is the connection or the combinations of all these organs together. That's what the excretory system is. Now examples of the excretory organs I want to mention before we now take a little note. Examples of the excretory organs are number 1, our kidney. Can you repeat that? Kidney. Number 2 is what? Is the skin. And number 3 is what? The lung. And number 4, we will still consider it, though it does not carry out the function directly, but it also it is helpful in excretion, and that is the liver. So I have mentioned 4 examples of excretory organs now. Number 1, what did I say? Mention the kidney. It is inside our body, you may not see it. Now number 2, I've talked about the skin. The skin is all over our body. Our faces, we have skin. On our hands, we have skin. The entire body is covered with skin. So the skin on our body is one of the excretory organs. Then I have talked about lungs. Lungs, just like the kidney, are inside. We may not see it, but I have a picture to show us as time comes. All right. Before we write, can you tell me the meaning of excretion? What is the meaning of excretion? It is the process by which waste products are removed from the body. All right, let's take now a little look. All right, friends, as we have said earlier, that excretion is the process by which waste products are removed from the body. Now we have looked at the excretory system as the group of all the organs involved in the removal of waste products from the body. We have listed the examples of waste products from the body. And these waste products, I have said that they are also called excretory waste. So in case you are asked to give examples of excretory waste or waste product from the body. So if it is not called waste products, you refer to it as what? Excretory waste. Then we also talk about the organs responsible for excretion. Now the organs we have listed: the kidney, the skin, the lungs, and the liver. Alright, we just want to take a look at how it is. Alright, this is a picture of an excretory system. This is the human excretory system. Here you can see the kidneys. The kidneys, there are 2 in the body. Then you have the lungs. Here we know the skin. You can touch your skin. Then the liver is also there. The liver is there. So you have the kidney, the lungs, the skin, and the liver as organs of excretion. Now, when we look at... Alright, this is the kidney, how it looks like in our body. I've told us that there are 2 and they have the shape of beans. So the kidneys in human body are they have the shape of beans. You can just see it here, and they are 2. Now, what are these kidneys responsible for? Which waste product do they remove from the body? The kidneys in the human body are responsible for the removal of what? Urine. The kidney help to remove urine from the body. Now the skin, what waste product do we have from the skin? The skin helps to do what? To remove sweat. If I should ask you, where do you sweat? Is it not the sweat? Does it not come out from your skin? So this is a cross section or a structure of the skin, as you can see it here. Alright, in our upper or higher classes, we'll learn about these organs in details. For now, you can just take a look at the kidneys. You have the right and the left kidneys, and how it's connected to the bladder to remove the urine. And here is the structure of the skin. So the skin, we are just seeing or looking at it at a very small part of the body. The skin is big. It is big, as you can see there in the picture. Alright, I have said that the kidney is responsible for the removal of which waste products? Is it sweat? Is it carbon dioxide? No. The kidney is responsible for removal of urine from our body. Then the skin is responsible. The waste product excreted from the skin is sweat. Please, what I want you to note there is the urine is not just an ordinary water. It is a mixture of some substances. Water is there. What is called urea, that's a nitrogenous compound. Urea is formed from a nitrogenous compound, and some mineral salts are what make up the urine. The same thing with sweat. The sweat with water, mineral salts, and some nitrogenous compound called urea are what make up the sweat that we pass out from our body. Then the lungs. The lungs are responsible for excretion of carbon dioxide, which we commonly call carbon dioxide. Please, what I want you to take note of here is this, that we have not mentioned feces, what we pass out through our anus as excretory products. Feces is not a waste product from the body, neither is it considered as excretory product. Why is it not considered as an excretory product? Because what we pass out through our anus has not been used by the body. Feces is an undigested, it is the food that has not been digested. The body has not absorbed it to use it for any purpose. So the body will now shift it and pass it out through the anus. So there is a difference between defecation or ejection and excretion. Excretion, we have known the meaning of excretion, the removal of waste product from the body. While defecations defecation is the removal of undigested food product. Please take undigested food. Take note of that. Defecation is the removal of undigested food from the body, and the process by which we carry that out is called ejection. Ejection, and you notice that your feces is always, most at time, it is always in solid form. But the waste products or excretory products is not solid. It is always liquid or gaseous, that is gas. While the ejection, what we ejected from our body, we eject from our body is solid or semi-solid. Are we together? Alright, we continue. Okay, remember, this kidney, what does it excrete from the body? Urine. Then the lungs, what does it excrete? Carbon dioxide. Then the skin, excrete what? Sweat. Then the carbon dioxide, as I said, the carbon dioxide is the mixture of water and gases. It's air and what? So, water. If you pick a glass or a plate and you exhale upon it, after a while touch it, you notice that you feel moisture on the surface of the substance. Alright, let's just write a little about the excretory organs. Alright friends, we were talking about the organs of excretions. Now we talk about the liver. I said when we started that the liver does not perform excretion directly out like the lungs or the kidneys. But the liver helps also in excretion, because the liver will change or convert the harmful substances into a less or non-harmful form. As any substance that is toxic to the body or toxic or poisonous to the body, it is the work of the liver to do what? To change such substances into a less harmful or non-harmful form and pass it out into the blood, from there to be excreted out. Okay, now why is excretion important is another point of consideration. Is excretion important? If I ask you, yes, it is important. Like I said earlier, because if the harmful substances or maybe the waste products are allowed into the body to remain there longer than necessary, they will definitely do what? Become poisonous to the body. So it is needful for us to remove harmful substances or waste products from the body, because if not removed, they may poison or destroy the body. Therefore, excretion is very, very important. Number one, it helps to remove harmful substances from the body, and it helps us to remain healthy. Another one is that it helps to remove excess water, excess salt, as we have seen here. Talk about salts. These salts are the mineral salts in the body, which are not to be there. If they are allowed to be there, they become poisonous to our body cells and can damage the system and eventually lead to death. So that is the reason it is important to do what? To get waste product removed from the body. So, and as such, excretion is very, very important. If you are asked, why is excretion important? It is important because it helps us to remain healthy. Without excretion, in fact, stay for a day or two. Don't urinate or hold your nose for a long time. Don't bring out the carbon for outside. How will you feel? So it's very, very dangerous if this waste product are allowed to stay in the body. All right, let's just write a little before we take assignment. All right, my lovely kids, we've been looking at the topic excretion, and we have looked at the need for excretion. Why is excretion important? And we have here to say that it is important because it helps to keep the body healthy. Number two, to remove toxic and waste product from the body. Without excretion process, we wonder how these waste products can be removed from our body. Then to remove excess water from the body also. And lastly, to maintain salt content of the body. You can see that the urine and the sweat we pass out from our body contains some mineral salts. And I've said those salts are not useful for the body. Thus, it has to be removed from the body. Then this is what I said earlier about the feces we pass out through our anus. That it is not an excretory waste. It is made up of undigested food materials from the digestive system. While excretory waste is released from the body cells, but feces is passed out through the anus. And the process by which feces is passed out through the anus is called ejection. Alright, before we go today, let's just have a few questions for our assignment. Alright, friends. Here are our few assignments. But before we look at the assignment, remember what we have talked about today. That excretion is the removal of waste products from the body. Then we talk about the excretory system, that it is the connections or include all the organs involved in excretion. When those organs come together, they form what is called system. Then we have looked at the excretory waste from the body. Examples of excretory waste from the body, I believe from now on we have gotten the knowledge of that. Then we also mentioned the excretory organs and the waste products they remove from the body. Then we have looked at the importance of excretion. And lastly, we've talked about the difference between defecations and excretion, that the two are not the same. And that is why feces is not considered as a waste product of, should I say, metabolism. I've been trying to avoid that word. It's not for your class. So when your food is digested, the body uses it. Then the one that the body, after the body has finished using everything, at the end, what comes out will be the waste product. But for feces, it is considered as undigested food materials. And I have said earlier, it is always solid or semi-solid. But take note, the excretory waste are always in what? Liquid or gaseous. That is gases. Here are a few assignments for us to at least see how far we understand the lesson. Number 1 said define excretion. 2, list examples of excretory waste from the human body. Then 3, state 3 excretory organs with a named waste product. When you mention the organ of excretion, what waste product does it remove from the body? Then lastly, we have here, is feces an excretory waste? Please explain your answer. If it is yes, you explain. If it is no, you explain. Alright, with this, we've come to the end of our study for today. And I believe that it has been an interesting moment and that you have learned 1 or 2 new things. Alright, it has been a very, very interesting moment with me here on this platform, Mrs. Comfort Bassey. I want to say bye for now.